Games. Whoop, let's go. Hursty Games, and this is how we do. Now it's time.
Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to our QPR Career Mode. If you are not caught up with the series, then make sure you go back, check out the playlist and get yourself all caught up. If you are, then welcome to today's episode. Today it's going to be a mix of gameplay and probably finishing off the January, or not the January transfer window, sorry, the initial transfer window, the sort of summer transfer window. And we've got things to do. There's a few options. If you guys saw the last episode, there were a couple of players we were still looking at, which we'll go through, but I just want to cover a couple of things that were commented in the last episode and explain how things are going. So, we, at the last episode, were looking at some players that had gone down last season. So, the teams that got relegated at the end of last season. And those three teams were Brighton. Actually, oh my god, I forget already. There were Brighton, it was Norwich, and then I think it was Brentford was the other one. So we were looking at some Brighton and some Norwich players, and I'm just waiting for them to come back. And once we get like the response back from them, we'll consider looking at some of these players and we'll work out any last signings. But I had a really good suggestion from the comments, which is try not to overspend on players. Try not to go more than, like, say, £15 million for a player. And I think it's a good suggestion because right now, QPR are in a very different spot to where they were a few years ago when we went up and we just spent, and it ended up biting us in the arse, which is why we had all the FFP issues. But I think it's a very good suggestion to not overspend, to not pick up players that are crazy expensive. So, for example, you can see Lamptey's value is at 17.5. Unless for some bizarre reason they sell him for much cheaper than that, we're probably going to have to rule Lamptey out. But we'll see what the other players come back as. We'll see if it fits the gaps we're trying to plug. And we'll go from there. I was also asked to send out some youth scouts and get the youth system rocking and rolling and stuff. We do have a 4-4 scout out at the moment. So Felix Higgins is looking at players in England. I try and only keep to sort of one scout at a time, especially when I'm doing like a video series, because it just ends up being that I get so many youth players and I really struggle to call them up and like get them game time. For example here, Murad Ahmed. I'm going to call Murad Ahmed up, but then I'm probably going to get him loaned out. I'd like to keep hold of a youth player or two, maybe put them on the bench and give them minutes every now and again. But at the moment, these guys just aren't at that point and we're just not going to be able to use them. But the plan is to still get some youth players through this and try and get some youth players playing. So I will obviously still try and get that done. But the first thing we're going to do in today's episode is this game against Crystal Palace. We obviously had a very, very good result last time. I will be playing on Legendary. That will be a set thing now. So I need to actually change that in the settings before I go into this. And then I'll show you the teams. Okay, you can see our lineup for today. Basically, our strongest 11. Amos stays in over Masengo for now because Amos is in a +4 for form. Masengo's only in that +1. I will try and get Masengo in, try and get him some game time, get that form up and everything. But for now, I think it's really beneficial for us to play our most informed players. You can see the team we're up against, and you can see Abire Eze is there. We're just going to give it our all, boys. Going to give it our all. The Kime Prince Foundation, Loftus Road, whatever you want to call it, it is back in the Prem. And QPR are back in the Prem with it. And I cannot wait, boys. I am so very happy. I'm so super chuffed that we have managed to get QPR back into the Premier League. And hopefully, we can have the return of our home stadium be a win in the Premier League as well. So I think without further ado, let's try it. Let's get it done. Let's see how we do. Come on, you Oz. It's the Prem. It's the Prem, baby. I got the ball over here. Oh, Ozzy couldn't quite get there, but Edouard's not going to get there. Eze, has played it to Edouard. Okay, we get it away initially, and we actually maybe have a small chance to counter here. You can see my strikers do drop back a little bit, so we have the option to sort of pass it into them. Oh, Willock's not quite going to get that past his man, but it's a little bit of a cagey start, a little bit of a cagey one. Oh, we've lost the ball in a bit of a bad spot here. Sini's going to have to come to that. Eze's actually playing quite centrally. I know in the pre-match thing, it said he was playing as like a left mid. And you can definitely tell that he's playing on that left-hand side. But he's running quite central. So we have got to be careful because Edouard and Eze in the middle is going to be a problem. However, Tyrese Campbell could be a problem for them. Not if I pass like that. Eze on the ball. Ozzy's got to be careful here. Got to try and... It's difficult because Mitchell and Eze are two very, very good players. And our wide players, like our wide fullbacks, are definitely our like weakest in regards to ratings and stuff in the squad. Dicky doing a good job in coming across there to help Eze out, and the two of them doing well to get it away. And now maybe a chance to counter here as Amos finds Willock on this right-hand side. Gonna cut inside and play it to Tyrese. Tyrese now. Oh, it's a bit of a dodgy first touch. It didn't give me Amos very quickly. We're not really threatening. So far, there hasn't really been a big threat from either side, but it's... yeah, I'm struggling to really create anything. Edouard plays it upwards. They've played it all the way across this right-hand side. I think this is, again, their fullback. They are really getting their fullbacks high up the pitch. Coles and Willock, I need to try and get these two into space and try and get them in behind. Because if we do, I think we've got a decent chance of like catching a fullback out. Talking of catching a fullback out, I played a really bad pass there with Hamer. And now Palace have a chance to bring it forward. We do just have to be careful on these counters. Like I say, they really do try and get it wide quickly. So Ozzy and Hamer are going to have a lot to do in this game. Isaac Cole's bringing it forward. Look at the run from Tyrese. I've tried to play it on the ground thinking if I played it over the top, it maybe gave them a chance to catch up. But I maybe should have played it above. Oh, well done there. We get the initial block in. Edouard is on the side by the looks of things there. Seni is beat at his close post. It's frustrating because I thought we did really well to get that initial block in there. And I thought we were just going to be able to bring that one away and go again. But it hasn't been the case. It was unlucky because this little block here was really good. But because he's stumbled, he wasn't going to get there in time to get in the way of that shot. So it's unfortunate. Edouard makes it 1-0, pretty close to half-time. I don't know that we're going to get too much in the way of an attack before the half finishes. I'll see what we can do. As you can see, I just can't really string passes together at the moment. And when you're playing against a legendary, possession and passes are everything. I've tried to play that to Tyrese, and it hasn't gone there. And that is half-time. It's been a very tricky first half. A very tricky first half. They've played really, really well. I haven't played... Well, have they played really, really well? They've played better than me. I haven't played particularly well. But they haven't offered loads. But you can see they made the most of their chance. That is like the main thing there. They really did make the most of their chance. Going to bring on Masengo. Just a little bit more pace in the middle of the park. Outside of that, I don't think there's any much I can change that's going to help us too much. I think having the width of Willock, because he plays out a little bit wider than Ilias does, because he is now right mid, I think it makes more sense to keep Willock on for now because of how much they're pushing their fullbacks up. Time will tell as to whether that's effective and whether maybe bringing on Ilias, just fresh legs out wide at some point will help. I don't know, but I haven't really offered enough to really work out, oh, this is a huge problem. It's more just trying to find a way to get into the game because at the moment I'm struggling, and that's not really down to an individual, like as in a player. That's more down to I'm not playing that great, which is a shame. Masengo's got the ball in a really good spot here. He's actually won this in a really, really good place. He's tried to play that over the top through ball. Tyrese has done okay. Hasn't quite knocked it on like I'd asked him to, but it was always going to be a tough ask to beat Anderson in the air there. Oh, very clever passing. Really simple stuff. Edouard, again, getting in the score sheet. And it is 2-0 to Palace. And that's a real shame. They've just walked it through me, really. Very simple passes. Eze just laying it off to him. You can see the amount of space Edouard's in. There's no way that we can give that amount of space to a striker in the Prem. That's just problematic for us, really, from the get-go. Again, it's part of the challenge of playing on Legendary. We're in the Prem. I don't want to make it easy for us and it be we can, turn up and win games that we really shouldn't. I want it to be that we've earned wins if we get them. And it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough, and I'm aware of that. I think with an hour gone, it might seem like a really stupid change to make, but I'm going to bring on Charlie, and I'm actually going to take off Coles, and I'm going to bring on Adoma. This is more sentimental than anything. Two club legends, in my opinion. Charlie over a long period of time, Albert Adoma over a very short period of time. Both absolute legends in my eyes, especially for modern QPR fans. And, yeah, give them time in the Prem at Loftus Road, the Kyan Prince Foundation. It's, yeah, I think that's more of a sentimental thing. I'm not doing it because I'm like, all the game is gone. Obviously, they're both players that can still do a job for us, as Albert Adoma is on the ball. But, yeah, for me, it ticks a box that I'd like to tick off before we finish this season. And, you know what? A home goal for Charlie Austin. That's another box tick. There we go. Lovely stuff. Like I say, I wasn't just making the sub for the sake of doing a sub. It's a sub that is beneficial for us. It's fresh legs. It rests a couple of top players as well. Lovely stuff there. I think it was Willock that found... Oh, no, it was Tyrese Campbell that found that space. Lovely turn from Charlie and just tucks it away. And Gaeta maybe should do a little bit better there. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. 2-1. We've got 25 minutes on the clock. There's still time. Let's see what we can do. As they picked up the ball out wide. That's a really lovely touch. Just completely takes Ozzy out of the picture. Trying to come across with your hands in here. Edouard on for a penalty, for a hat-trick. And he's going to get it. I'm going to be honest, that's really... Oh, no, it's not. That was Benteke. I forgot Benteke's made his way onto the pitch. We have conceded to bloody Benteke, boys. Why are those home fans celebrating? Get him out. Kick him out. The undercover Crystal Palace fans. I'm not having that. But I have to say, Really poor defence yet again. And I feel like Senny's dive. Oh, it's just a bad dive. It's just a bad dive. It's 3-1, just as I thought maybe, just maybe, we could work our way in and really try and push for a cheeky point. It's kind of fallen apart in front of us, but we'll keep fighting, we'll keep pushing, and who knows? Who knows? I ain't giving up. Oh, loads of space. Eze plays it inside. Really good block there from our Brazilian centre-back. I keep forgetting his name. I want to say it's Carlos, but I honestly, my brain is terrible, and that's also me playing terribly there with Uncle Albert. It's Lopez. It's not Carlos, Tom. It's bloody Lopez, you mug. I'm such an idiot. Honestly, my brain today is just not on it. But, you know, that seems like a perfect reason to play career mode, right? When you're not really with it. That sounds great. Oh, it's a lovely bit of play here. Got to be careful. Again, they've played it in the middle. Lopez with a shot, with a block, sorry, against Benteke's shot. That honestly could have gone absolutely anywhere. That would have been a really, really stinker moment for us. But, yeah, let's just sort of let this game peter out now. Let this game finish off. See if we can maybe push for one last attack. Masengo's going to bring it forward. I'm going to lose the ball in the middle of the park. And that is going to be full time. I'm going to say a bit of a wake-up call. We didn't play badly against Man City. We very much proved that we could show our own against Man City. And I think we really did do a good job. But, yeah, I think that was a bit of a showing up in the end there. Eze, obviously, with a very happy return to the Kind Prince. And sadly, not a great return for the Kind Prince to the Prem, as it's 3-1 loss in the end. But you know what? I think it just shows that there's still a few things we need to tweak that squad, and maybe there's a few things I need to get better at, mainly defending when it comes to playing against Legendary. But that will come with time. Okay, so a bit of a break from the league. We do have a cup game next up against MK Dons. Lopez, by the way, happy that I played him because with the injury, he was a little bit worried about going straight back in, but it's okay. He's back in. Barba's disappointed he didn't play, but yeah, I'll probably play him in the cup game because against MK Dons we can afford to run a bit of a second team, bit of a cup team. So that's what we're gonna do. Before we get too involved in our next game, though, we do have the scout reports back for a lot of the players we were looking at. So Lamptey, I'm gonna say, is gonna be out of our price range. I know we can afford that, but I think it's really smart, as was suggested, to stick to a lower budget per player. Don't go and become the QPR of old, buy loads of players, spend loads of money, and then just get yourself relegated. It's just not worth it. So I think we'll just be a little bit more careful, a little bit more cautious with the signings. And, you know, we can spend the same amount of money, but on lower amounts, if that makes sense. I'm all about that. I think it's just safer purchasing, basically. Anyway, we'll carry on. So Lamptey, I'm going to say, is a little bit out of our price range. For now, I'm actually going to remove Lamptey from the shortlist. For those who don't know, if you have loads of players in your shortlist, it makes it run a little bit slower, the game itself. So I'm just going to go through and delete a few people as we go. That's not Tyrick Lamptey. That is Ngaki. I don't know why it still shows Lamptey, but he's still a decent option. It's a shame he can't play like a left back, but we'll consider that again. I think he'll still be a good option for us. Rodon, I'm going to remove as well. I don't think we need another centre back. This is one of the ones that we didn't sign. Duarte is one of the centre backs we didn't sign because we'd found a beast already. Delgado, I probably won't end up signing, but I'll keep him there for a moment. Goes looks okay. Looks okay. We can maybe come back to Goes. Looks decent. Looks decent. Sumare, not too bad. Basuma, I mean, he's on a really, really like minimal amount of his. I think he's only got like a year left in his contract, so we could potentially go in and offer a bit of a lowball offer. But I think if we were to do that, we'd have to offer a player because there's no way we pick him up for 15 mil. So we'd have to offer something a little bit different there, I think, sadly. I'm going to get rid of Palmieri, not because he's a bad player, but because we don't need attacking midfielders. We need some slightly more defensive midfielders. And I say that and then see Alzate and really, really want to get Alzate. I mean, if I trained him to be a box-to-box, picking him up for like 4 or 5 mil, I think would be a bargain. I think that'd be a really, really good shout. I think Malumbi looks decent, but I think if you were to sit there and say you can have Alzate or Malumbi, I'm taking Alzate. Mwepu, again, I think might be a little bit out of what we're looking to spend, but could be an option. We could pick up Tom Davies here, potentially. Little bit of Premier experience. We can pick him up, I reckon, for around about 15, maybe even a little bit less. Trossard is a steal. Now, Trossard is a steal, but Willock, Chair, Coles. Do we need a Trossard? I mean, we could convert him to striker. We could make Trossard or Coles a striker. That is worth thinking about. Dowell is a good option, but I think there are better options on this list for a similar price. Munoz is on loan, so I'm not going to go in for Munoz. We still have the option of Hop. Andrade I'm going to get rid of. Moreno looks decent. Moreno looks very decent. Mambimbi also looks pretty good. How quick is Mambimbi? Because he's got 88 pace. That is pretty rapid. He's going to be a little bit quicker than Moreno. Kelechi's out of our price range, which is such a shame. I would absolutely love to have got Iheanacho. That would have been so good for us. I really would have loved it. Ramos is still a decent option. We've got Vavra. I think Rashik is going to be out of price range, which is a shame. I'm super tempted by Trossard. I'm genuinely so tempted by Trossard. I reckon we could pick him up for about 10 mil. Trossard for 10 million. Convert him to a striker. I think I'm going to do it. I think I found our striker option. I think I'm going to go for it. Now, I really hope you guys are cool with this, but a Trossard's ability in the championship, and he's got a year left. It just makes sense. Okay, I'm going to start a little bit lowball here. I'm going to go for 9 and see what they say. 10 with a 10%. Okay, let's take off the 10% and just offer 10. He's going to want more than 10, I'm sure of it. Boys, I actually think this might be a steal. This is daylight robbery. This is a no-brainer, boys. This is a no-brainer. Okay, so I'm going to go in with his wages. I'm going to offer him 40 because that's what he's currently on. And I'm going to offer him a 250 grand signing on fee. Let's see if that's something he's willing to consider. He's all about it. Boys, that is a huge signing. An absolute steal. For £10 million to sign Trossard, that is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. He's 27. He's got time ahead of him. We've picked him up for 10 million. That is unbelievable. Honestly, that is absolutely incredible. I cannot begin to tell you how happy I am with the deals we have made here. I'm super chuffed. Incredible. Trossard, mate, welcome to QPR. Okay, so looking at the options here, Trossard can become a striker, but it's going to take over 200 weeks, which isn't ideal for us at all, particularly. What I'm going to have a little look and see is if he gets any negative effects from being put in at striker. Because obviously that will decide a few little things. He goes on to a -2. If I make him a centre forward. Okay, so I can make him a centre forward and he'll get he'll still be positive. He'll still be happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and see what it will take to get him to become a centre forward and then probably run him as that in-game. 4 weeks. Okay, I'm making him a centre forward. He's got 76 shooting, decent enough pace. Let's make Trossard a centre forward, and we've signed him for 10 million. Let that sink in. 10 million. What a signing. Okay, I've also given it some thought, and I think one of the only positions we now really need to cover would be the fullback position. And why not go for somebody we know does a decent job for us? And that is Sam McCallum. He was decent for us. He's still got good potential. He's only 21. They're in the championship. So, again, he'd potentially be a player looking to move back to a Premier League side, potentially. I think we go for it. Again, I'm going to offer 5, see what they say to 5 million, and kind of really work from there. So let's just go in. Slight low ball. Going to offer 5, see what the thought process is. They want 8. Okay, so let's just slowly work our way up, honestly. Let's offer the supposed market value of 5.5. They're sticking to 8. Okay, you know what? Let's go again to 6. It's kind of how I do a lot of my negotiating in career modes, is just slowly working up, because more often than not, they'll eventually move down a little bit and meet you in the middle. They're going to spend a bit of time. We don't need McCallum imminently, but 6.5, they're asking for 8. If I can maybe push it to 7, 7.5, that'd be great. If I need to spend 8, I will. We have got the money, as you can see. We've got 22 mil. I don't want to spend all of it. I'd like to have a little bit of money left over, but for now, we now have the MK Dons game. Let's concentrate on that. Let's get the team ready. Let's go. Okay, playing a very, very changed side. Only Hamer keeps his place in the usual starting 11. You can see everyone else is rotated in. Obviously, I've got a couple of youngsters on the bench. Shadipo's in because he specifically asked to play, as did Johan Barbe. So I'll sim it. I'll show you guys highlights. Let's see if we can go through the cup. You may have also noticed, little cheeky debut to Trossard. He is playing that centre forward role. Let's go. Nearly half an hour gone and really not too much to show. Like a couple of decent bits of play. Trossard getting a little bit involved. He's played a couple of good crosses that Charlie hasn't been able to get into the end of. But honestly, not really much to show. This I was going to say this might be a chance. But again, another wasted pass from either side basically. Well, it's come from our own downfall. A really, really bad bit of distribution from a Serrano. And O'Reilly puts MK Dons 1-0 up. Now, I don't know if I want to particularly jump in, but it's not that always only the cup games. I'm not that fussed by it. I'm actually going to take Shadipo off. I'm going to give Ahmed some minutes, one of our youngsters coming through the ranks. And I'm also going to take off Masengo and bring on Albacia. Again, another youngster, give him some minutes, see how he does. The only other change is going to be Charlie Kelman on for Charlie Austin. So change of Charlies, change of wingers, and give Basir some minutes as well. So again, it's a cup game. I'm not too fussed if we go out the cup. It'll be a little bit frustrating because I think we do have a team that's good enough to beat MK Dons on the pitch. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's see how the second half goes. See if we can maybe play a little bit better. Very nearly got worse as MK Dons nearly scored a second. We haven't really offered much. Oh, good effort there from Charlie Kelman. One of our first real chances of the game. We haven't really offered too much. Also noticed on that corner we did try and whip that into Ilias' chair, which is just not going to work. Well, a frustrating way to lose the game, to go out, you know, of the cup. But it is what it is. I don't think we offered enough. I don't think we did very much. A lot of bad passing. You can probably see by the match ratings, no real standout great players for us. I have to say some very, very slack passing across a lot of the team. You could see that Trossard was getting the ball quite a bit, and I don't think he made many bad passes. But I think maybe I went a little bit too much on change everyone, is what it is. So they've come back about the McCallum deal with a 6.5 million, which they're happy with, but they want a 19% sell-on fee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the 19%, remove the sell-on fee, and what I will do instead is I'll bump this up to 7 and just see if they're willing to just accept 7. 7.7, so they have come down a tad. Let's go 7.2. Daniel Farker absolutely sulking. 7.3. We'll take 7.3. I know it seems really petty, but because I'm trying to be as FFP conscious and I'm trying to be like careful with buying like too many players, spending too much. If I can save 400 grand, I'll save 400 grand. You know, silly little things like that. But let's sort out this contract. Let's get McCallum back at QPR, shall we? Okay, so these are the wages I'm going to go ahead and offer McCallum. I know 30 might seem like a lot because he's only on 14, but he is joining a Prem team, so a team that's actually in the Premier League at the moment. And it's going off of sort of the other wages I have for players of a similar rating to him. So 30 grand a week, 180 grand for the signing bonus. He did want a release clause of 16.5 million, which I said no to. But he's happy with it. Things you'll love to see. Another signing made. It's another signing that I think is at a good price. So McCallum here permanently now, not just on loan. And will probably work his way into being our first choice left back. Sorry to Hamer, because I feel a little bit hard done by for him. But he'll still be in the squad. But yeah, McCallum, welcome back, mate. Well, with those signings made, one quick thing, I am converting McCallum to be an out-and-out left back, not a left wing back. We are going to be sticking to a 4 at the back, so it makes sense to get him on the correct positioning. But yeah, let's crack on. West Ham up next, going to be a tough one. Okay, bit of a punch in the gut here. Valladolid have paid Seny Dieng's £3.95 million release clause, which is very cheap. Seny Dieng is a 75 rated player. But Seny wants to leave. I'm going to say we still need you. I'm going to say that. And I'm going to really try desperately to offer him a contract right now because how much is Seny worth? Senny's worth 4.1, so he's not worth much more than the release clause. But I'm going to have to try and negotiate. I can't. This might be the last game with Senny. And if that's the case, we need a keeper. And we need one desperately. Okay, so we are going to run what is basically our current starting 11 into the team. Into the game, sorry. We have got Chair in over Willock, however. Trossard is on the bench, as is McCallum. So our 2 new signings making their way onto the bench. One quick point of interest. Lopez is currently playing as a 90 rated centre-back. The man is unbelievable. What an incredible pickup that was. But this is going to be a tough game. We obviously struggled against Crystal Palace. I think I know what I'm going to do slightly different. Also, I absolutely love the fact that they added the bubbles to this. I really, really do. I know it's a little bit off-putting maybe for the start of the game because they do slowly disappear throughout the game. But incredible little touch. I really love this. I think it's such a unique feature. And as a West Ham fan, anyone who is a West Ham fan that watches this will love the fact that this is a thing. They'll absolutely love the fact this is a thing. I'm sure of it. So West Ham fans, I hope you enjoy this. But QPR fans, I hope you enjoy it a little bit more because hopefully we're going to come away with 3 points. Let's hope, eh? Oh, this is bad. Oh, we've just had our main striker possessed and... Oh, my word, that was terrible. That could have been more bad news. Linden out wide to Ilias here. Ilias is going to cut inside. Oh, he's kind of a little bit surrounded. I'm going to have to play this backwards and try and find the space. Ozzy, lovely there, into Amos. Amos now. Got to find some space for him. Oh, I couldn't get it out to Ilias. It's a real shame. They're playing like a 4-2-3-1, but their midfield is so crammed. Their midfield is so busy. I'm just really struggling to find any form of space. But maybe here, this could change that. Tyrese, too slow to play it. Too slow to play it. Oh, it's a really simple ball inside. Seny Dieng, although he doesn't necessarily want to be here, as he said. Timu Pukki, they're playing Pukki. I respect that so much. Although he doesn't necessarily, his heart's not here right now. It's a very, very good save for him there to make. Good initial clearance. Let's try and, let's try and get a little bit of this away. Oh, it's a lovely play in. Timu Pukki again. Seny Dieng again. Lovely save. I'm really struggling with defending today. I'm not very good at defending anyway. But today I'm really, really struggling with my defending. I just can't at the moment. I'm playing so terribly. Tyrese Campbell going to bring this ball through here. Tyrese is going to find Ilias on that right-hand side. Ilias, I want this ball in the box, mate. Look how many players are back. Look at how many West Ham players are back in the box there. They defend in so many numbers. This is what I'm talking about with struggling to break them down. There's 50 of them. Tyrese Campbell on the ball here. Coles. Oh, Coles did make a run. I couldn't see him. I should have looked at the minimap. I couldn't see him. I didn't know if he was making that run, so I didn't know whether to play it because he wasn't on the screen, but I need to trust my instincts. Ilias Chair. A little bit deep here. Cutting in central as well. Going to have to look out wide now and find Ozzy. Just going to have to rotate this just a little bit. Just keep it alive. It's a lovely ball to Isaac Coles. That is Johansson, Tom. That is not Isaac Coles. Oh, they've played it inside. Back to Pukki. Seny with another save. As you can probably tell by the highlights, I'm not creating enough here. I'm not creating much at all. And honestly, I'm really struggling. I know we bumped up to Legendary, but things like that, I can't make a pass. That pass was terrible from Coles. He's got 80 passing, or high 70s, I think. But I can't make a simple pass. It's really frustrating because it ruins so many attacks. And obviously, when I'm clipping and editing things down, it's all about highlights. It's all about getting as many highlights, good or bad, to show you guys. And yeah, it's difficult when I can't make chances. Well, West Ham have a corner to sort of round up this half. If we can get this away, that'd be a fantastic... Oh, I was going to say a fantastic way to not concede at the end of the half, please. Referee, Jesus. Okay. Whew, that was stressful. Okay, 0-0 at half-time. A very, very tense, very, very stressful half. We didn't offer loads, and we limited their chances a little bit. But as you can see, goal expected 0 from the one shot, and it was a bit of a tamed shot, really. I don't know what we can do differently. Well, I do know something we can do differently. We can make some changes. We're going to bring on Trossard. Trossard and Linden, just because Campbell's that little bit tired, so... Let's go with Trossard up front, see how we like him up there as well, see how he does for us. In regards to other changes, I'm actually going to take off the captain. I'm going to take off Mr. Johansson himself. Bring on Masengo. See if we can maybe just with... It's a bit more of a defensive midfield, but just see if we can offer something different. Can I not change... I can't change captain. I can't make Dicky captain. Ilias Chair, mate, you're captain now. Enjoy. Okay, bit of a problem here because Pookie, who's sort of playing like a weird left mid. Okay, terrible pass from Pookie. Gives Ozzy a bit of a chance now to help us bring this away. And maybe we can recycle this into a chance and make an attack. Masengo up against Rice. Rice is so good, not just in this game, but in real life. He is just an absolute... Honestly, in my opinion, one of the best midfielders in the league. He really is absolutely fantastic. I love watching Declan Rice play. But Trossard now on the ball. Coles is going to sort of cut inside. Going to have to go backwards. Because just look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers we're up against. That is every single Pookie there, who's in the sort of middle left of the screen, is their furthest player back. They are playing a drop back like system, and it's so hard to break down. Gotta be careful here. Lopez coming over to it. Lopez has been ball rolled, and Pookie finds the back of the net. Pookie scores against us. In the first half, he was the main player who was really threatening, and yeah, it seemed somewhat inevitable that if there was going to be a goal, it was going to be theirs. Dicky kind of moves out the way of it. Senny can't really reach it. Ah, oh, boys, it's a problem. It is a big old problem. Trossard cuts inside. Really good tackle there. Really good tackle from the West Ham defender. I don't know who it was, but it was a hell of a tackle. Masengo. We do cycle it back to Trossard. I've tried a fake shot, and before I could even do the fake shot, he's just already lost the ball. They're knocking it around for fun. They're tackling us so well. We just can't get anything in this game. I cannot get a foothold in the game at all. And I am finding that very difficult to really deal with because obviously off the ball, I'm struggling. And when I get on the ball, I'm struggling. But hold on a second. Isaac Coles, I'm going to play it hard and low. Didn't really go as low as I was hoping it would. And I was hoping that Bertord, I think is how you say their keeper's name, was going to have a bit of a harder time catching it and maybe would punch it out to an oncoming Lyndon Dykes, Trossard, etc. But it wasn't to be. Masengo into Lyndon. Lyndon, it's not quite the touch that we needed there as a first touch from Lyndon, but we do just about keep it alive. Masengo doesn't quite control that quick enough. But 10 minutes to go, and that's the best we've offered there. That little bit of play is the best we've really been able to show. So let's see if we can build on that. Let's see if we can maybe not do that. That's great. Oh, very simple pass inside. I think that might have gone through Senny Dieng's legs as well. And I think it's Vlasic. Yep, Vlasic has made it 2-0. Very simple stuff. Really good pass to Pookie. And the pass from Pookie, by the way, is actually perfect. It has gone through Senny's legs. And I did just take Hamer off for Barbe. Barbe did specifically ask to play in this game. So I thought, you know what, I'll bring him on with about 10 to go. But I was hoping to bring him on in slightly better circumstances than 2-0 down. But you know what? It is what it is. We are struggling. We're up against some very good teams. And, mate, it's not going to be easy. I didn't think it was going to be. And it really hasn't been. Just as West Ham are pushing potentially for a third here. Really nicely played inside. Barbe coming across and making a very good block there. I've cleared that terribly. I think it was Amos I was using there. Dicky, really good tackle. Jeez, boys. It is... I'm not like panicking. I'm not like, oh, God, worried for the season. However, it's worth noting that there's a high chance I'm going to have to spend and get a keeper. And that will be our remaining budget. And that means that we're kind of locked in from there. If Senny ends up leaving, we're going to need to get a goalkeeper. So what we're going to do, because of sort of how long I've been filming for just over an hour now, I'll do this interview and we'll see if Senny's made a choice. Okay, as a point of interest, EA, this is ridiculous. Like, he said he was thinking about leaving. I've said, please, we need to keep you. I then went and checked to see if I could offer him a contract. I physically couldn't offer him a contract. And now he's complaining I didn't offer him a contract. Don't make it, EA, that he's going to become pissy because I didn't offer him a contract when you make it physically impossible to do so. Please sort this out because it's beyond a joke that he's now more miffed because I didn't offer him a contract. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? There's nothing I can do. And we've got 2 days until deadline day. Well, I guess what we'll do is we'll play out deadline day. Seny Dieng has gone. You can see bottom of the screen there, Seny Dieng has moved. So we now have £18 million to sign a new keeper. I'll be right back. Okay, this might seem a little bit crazy, but Nick Pope, Dean Henderson. Now, Pope has got a year left on his contract. I'm just going to try it. It's going to be a little bit above the sort of fees I was hoping to try and stick between. I'm going to offer 15. I know it's a crazy low ball. They're probably going to tell me to sod off, but 21. Okay. I'm going to just try. It's going a little bit over the budget, but I think basically the Seny situation has sort of forced my hand a little bit that I might need to spend a little bit more than I would like to. I'm going to say if I can't get him for less than 18, I'm not going to go for it. I think I'm going to set my cap of price to 18 million. It doesn't look like they're going to go below that. So I'll go to 17.5 and just see last offer. Are they going to consider it? They're going to have time to spend about it, which we don't really have time. So we go again. Okay. I think I've actually found something that would be an incredible deal if we can get this across the line. He's got less than a year on his contract. Jan Sommer, 33 years old, but an 85 rated keeper. I'm going to go in with 11. I know, again, it's a little bit of a low ball, but he's got less than a year, 15 mil, which I'm kind of expecting him to kind of somewhat stick to. But again, if we can bring this down a bit, 15 mil is like my cap of what I wanted to spend on one player at a time. So I know that we can get him for less than that guaranteed. 12 would be a really good compromise. 13.6. Okay, I'm going to say 13. We're just going to go 13. See if they accept that. That would be a fantastic deal for us. Fantastic. Jan Sommer potentially for 13 mil. Let's not mess up this contract. 13 million pounds for a genuinely world-class keeper. Can we get this done? That would be sick. Okay, I'm going with 40 grand a week, £200,000 signing on bonus. 2-year deal. Jan Sommer. He wants 56 grand a week. He wants a clean sheet bonus, which I'm going to remove. 56, and he wants 330 as a signing on bonus. I do realise that my camera's in front of that, and I do apologise. Okay, £58,000 a week. £330,000 signing on bonus. I know that 58 grand's a little bit above what I'd like to go for, but I'm all about this. An 85 rated keeper, that's a huge, huge plus for us. We've got him for decent money, and I know he's 33. I know he's a little bit older, but if he's going to be playing consistently and he's going to be kept busy in the Prem, let's be honest, he will be kept very, very busy in this team, especially when I cannot defend. He, I think, is going to stay at around that rating. I'm super chuffed with that. I'm very happy. Welcome, Jan Sommer. Well, after that deadline day drama, I'm pretty darn happy with what we've put together here in the end. Like, I have to say, I think the squad's going to go really, really well. I think it's going to go far. And I think what we'll do long term is it will end up being that Trossard will probably go in the team now over Linden. And Linden will be our substitute man just for something a little bit different because it offers a little bit of pace. Campbell's not exactly short. Like, he's not like the tallest player, but he's 6 foot. Linden's 6'2", a little bit of height to him. Trossard obviously that little bit shorter, but I think it just offers something a little bit different in a game to bring Linden on. Bit of height, get some crosses in. But I'm super happy with this team. I really, really am happy with this team. And Sommer coming in just shores things up at the back a little bit. McCallum, I think, is a bit of a better option over Hamer. I've liked Hamer a lot, but now having him as that rotation option, I think, will be decent as well. Masengo has already come in and done a decent job for us. And again, bringing in Trossard, bringing in the players that we brought in. I'm super happy with the work we've done. I'm super happy with the transfers. We're not going to have anything left to do for this window, so we'll save these last 10 hours for the start of the next episode. But some deadline day drama that I did not expect to happen. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you have, then please do leave a like on the video. It supports me, the video, and the series out a whole bunch. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to catch us on our live streams, Hursty Games over on Twitch. Link is in the description. But for now, guys, I want to say a massive thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands.
What? Nah, his name is Hursty. Slap bald head, yeah, it'll probably hurt me. Bang top bins, it'll probably hurt you. Ginger, streamer, platform, YouTube. Drop a name in the chat, I'll say hello. Entertain, yeah, you already know. Capital H, yeah, I'm a read it slow. Hursty Games, yeah, you already know.